So I'm going to demonstrate for you guys out there a little problem that is going to happen. It already is happening, and it's going to get worse. And I'm going to explain to you that the police will be in on it and the government will be in on it, meaning they will be accomplices to a crime. Okay, so, and much worse than a crime, there will be an accomplice to people starving, and much worse. So I'll give it a little example to you. I went to the grocery store the other day. I didn't wear a mask. I'm exempt. So I went in, and then a woman told me that I had to leave. I said, no, I don't. I said, I have a medical exemption. She said, no, that doesn't matter. You have to leave. I did my thing. I pretty much ignored her, and I walked to the checkout line, where a man at the checkout line who was working there, directing people where to go, told me, next time I'm going to have to call the police on you. To which I said, okay, if you need to call the police, go ahead. And then I responded with also, actually, should we call the bylaw right now? I said, because you're breaking the bylaw. I said, I've already told everybody that I have an exemption. And he just kind of was like, okay. I go to the cash, and it's the same lady that told me I had to leave, and she said, I won't serve you, okay? The man stepped up and said he would serve me, and we had a little discussion. Now, there will be times, and I'm sure there's been lots of times with people already, where people will not serve them, okay? So that puts people in a direct problem where now they can't even buy food, even if they have an exemption, which is legal. So it forces them to make a decision. Do I waste my time going to 100 different places to see which one of these places is going to accept this? Because many places give problems. Many places give problems. Or do I say, fuck it, if they won't let me pay, I'm gonna walk out with this food. They won't let me pay. They will not accept to give me a service of providing me with food, even though they, as a business, have to operate under federal and municipal legislation where there's rules they have to follow. One of those rules being the bylaw itself, which states, yes, people need to wear masks when they come in. However, some people are exempt from mask wearing, and it's not a situation in which they need to provide proof. So why are these businesses, why are they taking it upon themselves to police people, and then to take it a step further and to say, we will not provide you with this service, which is an essential service. Everybody likes to say that word, but without food, you're pretty fucking screwed. All right? So what would happen if the police would have come? If I said, yes, call the police. They won't serve me, that's fine, call the police. I've already encountered the police. Many police don't uphold the law. They're just there to try and kick you out, okay? That's a serious problem because they're being complicit in a crime, right? They are being an accomplice to a crime, because now not only are they not upholding the bylaws, right? They're not only participating in discrimination and harassment, but now they're also stopping you from being able to get your essential groceries to eat and feed your families. And do you hear the government stepping in and intervening and saying anything about that? No, you don't. So we need to speak up. We need to be louder. We need to be heard. We need to bring this argument forward. We need to keep being non-compliant when it comes to these measures. And it is going to be hard. It is going to be hard. But we're doing what's right. And in fact, those people are doing what's wrong. I'm sorry. But if your justification is, no, they're right, they're just doing their job, I would implore you to look back in history and ask yourself, when has that ever been okay? You know, segregation used to be legal. If you were black, you couldn't shop here or there, or you couldn't go here or there, okay? Just because something's legal doesn't make it right. Okay, let's go back to the war times, Nazi times. The people who hid Anne Frank were breaking the law. The people who killed Anne Frank, the people who were trying to kill people, the people who were dragging people out of their homes, they were just doing their job. That's not going to cut it. Okay? That's not going to cut it. And for anybody out there who's on the fence, I don't care what you believe about COVID-19. The facts are out there. It's not a deadly pandemic. It's just not. The facts are there. Okay? Don't have to take my word for it. Okay? The facts are there. All right? All this fear-mongering, all right? It's just sensationalism. It's just to scare you. Again, the facts are there. You can go to the government's own websites, all the government's own websites, and find the proper stats. How many people are in ICUs? How many people are dying? What age are they, right? It's not a lot of people that are dying from COVID-19. And when they do, they're extremely aged, meaning they're dying anyway at that age. 2, they have 2 or 3 or 4 additional comorbidities going along with that death. Like they had cancers, they had heart problems, they had diabetes, they had already life-threatening problems, along with the fact that it's pretty life-threatening to already be 85 years old. Okay? You can find these stats very simply on your own government's websites. So when you look at those stats, being that the ICU visits are very, very low, being that the deaths are very low, considering what we've been told, they are very low. 99 point something % of the population is at no risk of death from this respiratory disease, this flu-like disease. Okay? And yet, we're locking people down. We're forcing people to put things over their faces. We're taking away their human rights. If this isn't a wake-up call for you, no matter what side of the fence you stand on, when people will be discriminated against, when people will be forced into horrible situations, when people will be forced into poverty, right? This isn't like a secret. Businesses are shutting down all over the world, hundreds of thousands of them. These are normal working people, law-abiding people, good people trying to provide for their families, who have the right to do that. And the government is just not letting them open their business. Is it because that business is a breeding ground for death? No. Because you got Costco next door, and Walmart next door, and McDonald's next door, and this next door, and that next door, that are all open, jam-packed with people. The bottom line is none of that makes sense. And there is a reason why it doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. Nothing that is that big of a lie, nothing that is that big of a lie could ever make sense, will ever make sense, and it can only fool people for so long. Let's remember that. So even if it is fooling people we know, which it is, and even if it's fooling you who's listening right now, soon enough, it'll come to the light. And we're gonna win this. We're gonna win this, no matter what the cost. And the cost might be great. I've had to endure personal battles outside of this crap where the cost was great for me and I had done no wrong, and I overcame it because eventually the truth came out. That's what happens. That's what's gonna happen here. The truth is gonna come out. And no matter how much we lose in that process, we have to go on, because we will win. The truth is gonna come out. You know, it really sucks to think of how much we've already lost. How many loved ones do you know that are stuck in an old age home and are not even allowed to leave? You're not allowed to go and take them out. There's laws like that now. Crazy. People are on curfews in places of the world. People are being arrested in places of the world for being outside, not wearing a mask here, not wearing a mask there. Crazy. Now I just told you about a possible scenario that I think is on its way to happening and is actually happening in the world. People are being denied their groceries over a mask mandate. A wrong mask mandate that holds no factual, scientific, or medical evidence to back it up. And the law actually says that people are exempt that don't need to prove it. And you got these store people trying to kick you out and trying to deny you. That equals starvation. People are gonna go nuts. People are gonna get hurt. That's not what I want, but that's what's gonna happen. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do it. That is gonna happen though, because people have their backs against the wall and they're faced with their death and their family's death. What do you think is gonna happen? So don't give up the fight, people. You people know who you are. I'm probably not reaching anybody who has not been willing to listen up until this point, but you people know who you are. Don't give up the fight. We're gonna fucking win.